second session of the day. My name is Sam McDermott, and I work on the 3D AR VR side of Superside as a creative technical lead. So you can probably guess that I'm super excited about this next session. At Superside, we're excited to be exploring these new and exciting trends that are emerging in the creative space. And what better opportunity than to talk about these innovative offerings right here at this amazing event. Without further ado, let me introduce the amazing speakers that we have today to talk about this topic. First, we have Mac, a colorblind Cajun creative who found a career in product design and has a personal passion in printmaking. He leads multifaceted design teams who bring brand design and research to the table. He is currently head of design at Mutiny. When not at a laptop, you can find him carving linoleum block, riding a bike, or digging through vinyl crates. Welcome, Mac. Joining Mac is Jeff. Jeff has been a creative innovator for 30 years. For much of that time, he has worked as a group creative director of MRM McCann, working on accounts including Intel, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Verizon, and Maybelline New York. He is currently the executive creative director for MasterControl, a life sciences software company dedicated to bringing life-changing products to more people sooner. In his free time, Jeff enjoys theater and is currently producing a play for a place called Meanwhile Park. Welcome to you both. I know you have some slides prepared, so please take it away.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Yeah, I think we'll keep this brief so we can get to some questions. If you were in the last session, we were just touching on AI and 3D and how that impacts creatives. So perfect segue into what we're going to chat through. I wanted to start with kind of why AI is like relevant to creatives for me and for marketers. I've been at Mutiny for now less than a year, and it gave me this whole other side of looking at like what the relationship between marketers and creatives are and how they go about generating assets, the why, the what it's used for. So really briefly, with Mutiny, we're helping marketers personalize their websites. They're using AI to generate content, generate assets. And really, it's about like speeding up the kind of conversion and web personalization. So with marketers and creatives, what we've been exploring is like, what does the ideation process look like? How does AI, as mentioned in the last session, used just as another tool? How is 3D, how is AR used just as another tool to like create personalizations in a web? So there's a couple of workflows that are kind of appearing for us. One of them that's extremely exciting for me is how things like DALL-E and Midjourney, any AI generation tools, are being used to just like help sketch and generate and be fast and get that relationship between marketers and creatives sped up and more on the same page so that less time is spent just like going through the details. Some of those workflows look like, generating a concept from scratch using nothing, creating assets with 3D tools, and then shipping without ever leaving your laptop. Things like not having to go into studios for different shoots if they're really low volume, being able to like speed through the process like we weren't able to before. So whenever I talk about sketching and getting concepts on paper, AI is like really useful in bringing together a lot of different sources. It's with GPT-4 and ChatGPT, this latest version we've seen has become really good at reasoning and logic. And so it's getting scarily accurate at pulling brand guidelines and allowing us to kind of pull down a website or pull down a campaign and infer a guideline from that to give us a starting point. So another workflow between marketers and pure AI means that now marketers are able to like generate their own ideas and generate their own concepts and experiments so that when they get to shipping experiments, that happens with minimal creative involvement. I say that not in a scary way, hopefully, but more of something that's been really cool to us is using AI to refine or giving marketers a platform to refine like briefs or decks or anything that allows the conversation between a creative and a marketer to be a lot smoother, a lot less time arguing over whether or not the brief was filled out correctly, and a lot more like base images to work off of from the very beginning. So just a couple of quick examples. When I'm talking through sketching with AI, a lot of what I mean is those conversations you have where two people are on completely different pages, you're trying to talk through a UI, an asset, an illustration. We found tools to be really good at this stuff, right? So you've probably seen on Twitter, people using Stable Diffusion and coming up with images that are scarily accurate and maybe look real. That's really cool. But like in the 90th percentile of what people are doing with AI, what I'm more interested in is what everyone else is doing. Like, how can I stitch together a screen in 10 seconds that just says, hey, this one on the bottom right looks like a music app, it looks viable. Or this one in the top left, it's a food app that, yeah, we wouldn't build assets that way, but you can see a brand evolving out of it, and this takes seconds to generate. So it starts the conversation from a place of like level playing ground, and a creative or a marketer can generate this. The other thing it's really good for, we love raccoons at Mutiny. Our mascot is a chew. He's a raccoon, so you'll see this a lot. But it allows us to kind of come up with ridiculous concepts. We use things like this bottom right-hand one with charts in presentations because we have fun internally, and we know that we aren't going to find these things online, so why not enjoy it? But it also, using things like DALL-E, helps us with having kind of that ideation process of, I'm going to talk through that bottom left white box, where one of our brand designers was working through an illustration style for stickers. And while none of these are like ready to ship by any means, what she saw was this top left side where there's like an outline, like a die cut sticker appearing. She wasn't thinking of it before, but now we were able to have that conversation. And that's the kind of stuff that's really fun and really speeds up what we're working through. The other thing on 3D side, right, you go from the creation, the concepting, to actually generating assets. And this is some work I was doing at Square a few years ago. We've had this tech for a while, but just taking like that concept, aligning on a brief, creating an asset without leaving the studio can really get to shipping faster within the week with minimal touch-ups. And in a marketer's world, that is gold, because you can get to that A/B test faster. The relationship between the team internally becomes a lot better. Sometimes we give that tool to the end customers too. So another Square product, this one I didn't work on, but through our e-com team, this was, again, sort of democratizing what creative tools can be in using an AR environment. And so for this one, it was taking photos of their products and putting it in a background that otherwise they wouldn't be able to do. And again, just another step into like how exciting it can be to get everyone using creative software, which I think is the point. Lastly, I talked about some of the ChatGPT stuff and how good it's getting at reasoning. The scary thing we've been playing with for the last week, at least for me, is if you read this left to right, what we were doing was one of our little Hack Week teams found that we can upload websites into ChatGPT and pull down a brief or pull down a brand guideline so that within seconds we can generate these little side pops and these little elements like that you see in the bottom right, where maybe it's not fully there. Maybe like this still needs a creative to look at it and press go, and we're very okay with that. The fact that we're pulling colors, the fact that we have a serifed headline, a sans serif body, all of that helps us get to speed, which is really good when we're talking about the time crunch that creatives normally have. So yeah, that is it for me. I think where I'll leave it is just to say our jobs are safe for now. We look at AI at Mutiny as it just augments the ideation process, and like it helps us work faster and better and on the same page. So I'm not too afraid of like, am I going to have a career in 10 years? I'm more looking at like, how do I use this as a tool, just like Illustrator or Figma, to produce? Cool.
Great, thanks, Mac. I really, I'm intrigued by the enthusiasm that you bring to the idea of using AI, and I think most creatives are starting to experiment with it, and we're seeing ways that we can use it to great benefit, both personally and to our companies. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the creative considerations that you might want to consider when it comes to using AI. And to do that, I thought we'd go back in time, maybe not that far, but AR, VR is now something that we've been working with for at least 2 decades. And I think there are a lot of lessons that we can learn from how we implemented AR and VR creatively into a lot of campaigns. Certainly, I think early on, there was a definite belief that AR and VR were going to totally change the landscape of creativity. I don't think it's gone to the level that most people thought it would. And I think that's an important, Max said our jobs are safe for now. And I think that's an important thing to think about when we're talking about AI. If you look at the next slide that I put together, I think the metaverse is another example where we have Meta trying to create this new environment digitally. And I think it's proving to be more difficult and more problematic for us to really get to where the promise of these types of new technologies are delivering what we really need from a creative standpoint. Also, if you think about NFTs, that's another example of new technologies that I think marketers jumped on the bandwagon without really taking into consideration why should we be using NFTs and why would they be valuable. And I think that actually hurt NFTs over time, and we're starting to see people, backing away from those a little bit more. So what can all of those technologies help us learn when it comes to artificial intelligence? And I've put together what I think are kind of 3 considerations we should think about when we start to look at AI and how we want to use that in our marketing materials, in our creative development, all of those types of things. So I just wanted to review some of those. And the first one is it strategic? I think a lot of times we as marketers want to jump on the latest creative bandwagon or the latest technology bandwagon, and we don't back up and stop to think whether or not it's strategic. I certainly have worked on a number of campaigns that were AR, VR campaigns, and some of those were very strategic and worked incredibly well. We did a project for an electronics manufacturer that most of us have at least 30 of their products in our house, and we've never heard the name of the company. And so we created a VR experience that allowed you to see a home with all of these elements coming forward and see through walls and see into appliances and those types of things. It was hugely beneficial, and it really helped change the perception of the company. But it was definitely because it was strategic. We had a reason to say we can use virtual reality to show our customers something they can't otherwise see. So it's a very strategic opportunity. When it comes to artificial intelligence, right now, I think we're just starting to see some brands that are using AI publicly. I will say a lot of us are using it behind the scenes to kind of get to where we want to be, but we're starting to see brands that are using that publicly. And I think you really have to understand the setbacks that AI can deliver if you aren't really making your work strategic. The second thing I want to talk about is it exciting? All of these new technologies bring capabilities that we not only have not been able to utilize in the past, but I personally think we haven't even been able to imagine. When you look at artificial intelligence right now and the things that we're able to do with that, those are things that I don't think we imagined were going to be possible. It's one of the reasons why I have why I'm really bullish on artificial intelligence and AI as a creative tool. This is a tool that I think has opportunities beyond what we saw from the metaverse or NFTs or AR and VR. It is so broad in its capabilities, and the things that we have seen it do, I think will benefit creative development in very big ways. So the way you make that happen is to demonstrate the excitement that is associated with these new technologies. You really have to look at how do we do something that's maybe never been done before, or do something that's been done before, but in a completely new way. Particularly at this point in the history of AI, I think now it is so exciting. And as you start to use things like ChatGPT or DALL-E or any of the new technologies out there. It really is amazing what you're able to complete. One of the things I want to note is that building that assignment is a job of your creative team. AI is only as good as the people who are using it as a tool. You just can't rely on the technology to do the work for you. You have to have a strong creative team that is very excited by the technology and really wants to push it and develop new creative ideas in doing that. So making sure you're engaging with the excitement that is inherent in these new technologies. And then third, is it worth it? I think we definitely saw this in AR, VR, NFTs, those types of things. Technologies can be expensive to implement from a creative standpoint, and they can be expensive to really develop something that is valuable to your company. And you can't forget that the goal of a creative execution is to deliver value for the company or the brand that you're working on. So making sure that the reason you're using these tools is to deliver value to your company. One of the nice things about AI is currently it's incredibly affordable to engage with AI and to explore creative opportunities in these platforms. And so it's another reason why I'm really bullish on AI, is because I do think it offers an efficiency that maybe we haven't seen with some of these other technologies that have been new, exciting technologies. The last thing I kind of want to leave you with before I just show you a quick video that will respond to this is that we as marketers and creatives, we are almost always ahead of the audience. And particularly when it comes to these types of technologies, we are always out there looking for the next big thing and trying to create momentum and excitement for our brands and for our customers and for our potential customers, those types of things. But frequently, I find that our audience may not be ready for that. And we have to do a little bit of due diligence to educate almost our audience on what's happening when it comes to these new technologies. I will use an example that's maybe a little bit different than what Mac was talking about earlier. We as a company have started using AI in the development of our software and in our ability to deliver information and insights to our customers. But our customers aren't believing it. As we talk to our customers, we get this feedback that it's all smoke and mirrors. They don't understand the value. Why would AI be something that's important for us to use? And I think you hear that even with ChatGPT and DALL-E and all of the things that we're doing creatively. So sometimes you have to bring your audience along with you with these new technologies. And one of the ways we've done that is by showing our audience some of the most popular features in our product that are actually based on AI, but are maybe something that people don't realize are based on AI. And so we recently created a campaign to help get our audience a little bit more excited. This is a life sciences campaign. There will probably be a few things in this video that you might not fully understand, but I definitely think you'll get the idea of what we're talking about. So maybe we can just show that video.
This is Ryan. He's an AI skeptic.
I mean, it's all a bunch of hocus pocus, right? Doesn't have any practical application.
This is Sarah. She's about to show Ryan what happens when AI stops being hocus pocus and starts getting real.
I will. Let's go back to that last graph.
So we're having issues with people meeting their training deadlines.
Okay. So the Premium Insights dashboard allows you to see tasks that are at risk of being overdue, so you can be proactive about helping your team get them done.
Cool, but how does it know?
Models use training data to predict tasks that are most likely to miss due dates. It's artificial intelligence.
This is the moment Ryan realized MasterControl Artificial Intelligence is certified real. See how MasterControl's real AI can help you be more efficient and stay on track.
So I will leave it at that and just say that I think all of us are really trying to prove that AI is certified real at this point, and we'll all be using it in our work moving forward.
I love that video. Thank you so much, Jeff, and Mac as well. That's really like insightful stuff. Just hearing about how you're kind of leveraging these new technologies as part of your work. I think that's super cool. So now we're going to move, and I think we have quite a bit of time, almost 10 minutes onto the Q&A, which is great. I'll kick things off while we wait for some more questions in the comment section. But I suppose a hot topic with AI and some of these new generative workflows is, what do you see are the risks or ethical considerations to keep in mind when using AI as part of your design workflows? Maybe start with Mac, and then I'd love to hear your answer as well, Jeff.
Yeah. Ethical considerations are a hard one. I think it's really easy to jump to the what is the training data? Are all of our images protected? We, as designers and artists, have spent so much of our time creating things, and it's really hard to see that become data for someone else to generate something. The side I think about really frequently is that it's still unclear what's happening with a lot of this data that goes in and out, right? So you see some European countries already banning ChatGPT and OpenAI tools. And if you layer on GDPR and all these ways we try to protect people's like PII and data, I think there's going to be a large conversation around that over the next year or two. And so my head goes in that direction, mostly because we can be outraged about the image training data stuff, and we should be. But the data that people don't know is moving around is going to be scarier for us in the long run.
My reaction to that question would be, I think AI, ChatGPT, DALL-E, they are either the ultimate sampling machine. If we think about music and the way sampling has overtaken the music industry over the last, 30, 40 years, I think you can look at these AI technologies and say, hey, this is a sampling opportunity, or they're the ultimate plagiarism tool, because everything that we get out of these tools is derived from someone else's work. Let's be clear that these tools are creating new images and creating new ideas and new things, but everything is derived from someone else's work. And so I think there's going to be a lot of fallout in the next several years that helps us define that. If we are the ultimate sampling tool, we're going to go through what the music industry did, where there will be legal questions about if you're sampling someone else's work and presenting that as your own, what is your requirement to compensate the person who created that original work? So I think we're already starting to see some of those things happen in the marketplace. So it's going to take us a little while to really get through a lot of those ethical issues about how how artificial intelligence moves into the future.
I completely agree. I'm going to take a question from Jonathan in the comments section, who asks, how can agencies and independent creatives use the mastery of AI technologies as a marketing weapon and or to add value to their offer? Whoever wants to take that one first.
I'll be happy to talk about that a little bit. First of all, if you're not playing around if you're a creative or a marketer in general, if you're a writer, if you're a designer, and you are not exploring ChatGPT or some of the visual tools that are out there now, you are probably doing a real disservice to your career. So even if you're not using them as a marketing weapon, you really should be starting to familiarize yourself with those tools, because they might influence your marketing arsenal of things that you want to do. And then the second thing is, I think at this stage in AI, Matt talked about this a lot, we really are at a point where we're using these tools maybe not to develop the final work. Certainly there are some artists that I think are starting to use these tools to develop final work. But for the most part, I think creatives are using it to help them get to a final product. Now, will that change in the future? I'm guessing it probably will. As Max said, our jobs are safe now, but who knows if that's going to be the case in the future. But That doesn't mean we should just ignore these tools and not start to implement them and use them in developing great creative programs.
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is I think so I come from a more product design background, but so many of our jobs are reliant on crit environments or brainstorming or being able to bounce ideas off of each other. And Andrew Leibowitz in the chat is talking about sort of synthesis, and it's a great comment to go read. So if we think of AI as just another designer in the room who happens to have access to the world's information, as opposed to just another designer who has their own ideas, then it should up-level those crits and those brainstorms and those conversations. It's not going to be your final output, but it can really help you brainstorm, ideate, and work through things you haven't thought of before.
Thanks so much. I think we've got maybe time for just one more question. So looking forward to the new developments in 3D, AR, VR, and AI, what are you most excited about using in your work coming up? Just give us the thing that you're most excited about.
I will say the thing that I'm most excited about is visual opportunities. I come from working in the agency world. I came from a writer background, and I'm finding that suddenly my writing skills, my creative writing skills, are really beneficial in creating visual opportunities, which in the past that's been a challenge for me because I'm always working with an art director or someone like that. This gives me an opportunity to try and express what's in my mind from a visual standpoint before I start working with an art director or a graphic designer or those types of things. And for me, it's expanding my creative opportunities in a big way. So that's the thing I'm most excited about is I really am finding that I get to play around with things and I start using those images in a lot of very interesting ways in presentations. It's a great way to create really fun, cool presentations using AI is. So that's probably the thing I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I love that. I think I will go in a direction of, I mentioned GPT-4. We've just seen this release and we see leaps and bounds in change of logic and reasoning. Before ChatGPT was really good at reading the internet and then synthesizing some data maybe. Now it can help you think through problems. And I think as a product designer, my job is to use design to solve problems. And now GPT-4 can help me think through logic around that. Or help me work through problems in ways that my brain wouldn't have adapted before. It really feels like a new augmentation device as opposed to a sort of generative tool. And I think we've only begun to scratch the surface of what we'll be able to do. The brand guideline stuff I showed, which hit me up after anyone, that is because of that jump in logic and reasoning. So we'll see some really big changes.
Mac, Jeff, thank you so much. I think this has been awesome perspective and insight into some of these emerging technologies. Really appreciate you spending time with us today.
Hey, I hope that session sparked some ideas and provided some excellent insight. If it did, join the Superside community. We've got plenty more videos and events to enjoy. Otherwise, visit superside.com to book a quick demo and find out more about what we do. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.